The great chamber of the Galactic Council was filled with silence, not the peaceful kind. This silence felt heavy, like the moment before a storm. Hundreds of alien leaders sat in their high chairs, watching the center of the room. In the middle stood a single human. His name was Ambassador Kieran Holt. He was tall, calm, and wore Earth's dark blue uniform. His eyes moved slowly across the room, but no one looked back with kindness. No one offered peace. Only cold eyes stared at him. The council speaker, a tall insectoid alien named Vraxel, stood. "Human," Vraxel said, in a deep, clicking voice. "You stand accused of breaking the Galactic Peace Code. A Terran fleet attacked the Zolari mining ships near the neutral zone. 70,000 lives were lost. What do you say?" Kieran didn't speak right away. Knew the room wasn't interested in the truth. They had already decided Earth was guilty. "We didn't do it," Kieran said, voice firm but controlled. "There was no Terran fleet in that sector. We asked to review the sensor data, but the request was denied." "Why?" A low murmur spread across the chamber. A few aliens shifted uncomfortably. Others simply looked bored. Vraxel raised a hand. "Evidence has been reviewed by this council. Your denials do not matter. Humanity has always been unstable, dangerous. Your exile is the safest path." Kieran stepped forward. "We helped build the peace. We stopped the Zarn War. We gave ships, soldiers, scientists, and now you push us out because of fear?" Another voice, this one sharp and full of hate, came from the side. A scaled alien named Counselor Tazir stood. "You were never one of us. Deathworlders don't belong among civilized species." Kieran stared at him. "We bled beside you, and now you stab us in the back." Tazir smiled. "It's not the back if we do it to your face." Laughter filled the chamber, cold, heartless. Kieran stood still. He didn't shout. He didn't beg. But his voice lowered, steady and dark. "You may think you're ending something today, but you're starting something far worse." Vraxel banged the council hammer. "Enough. The council has voted. Earth is exiled. All Terran systems are too. Be removed from the Union. No trade. No travel. No protection." There was no defense. No appeal. The final moment came quickly. Two guards moved toward Kieran, but he raised his hand. "Don't touch me. I'll leave." He walked slowly out of the chamber. Not a single alien followed. Not one friend stood by Earth's side. It was only silence and turned backs. As he passed the tall stone doorway, a voice whispered behind him, "Just loud enough. They won't survive alone." Back on Earth, things moved fast. The news of exile hit like a meteor. Crowds filled the streets. Protests began. People shouted, cried, and demanded answers. How could the galaxy abandon them? How could the Council believe lies over years of peace? In a hidden bunker deep under the Rocky Mountains, a group of humans watched the chaos unfold on a screen. General Leona Gray. Long thought retired, stood with arms crossed. "They finally did it," she said. "After all these years." Aside. Her, an engineer, spoke. "Orders, ma'am." Leona didn't blink. "Begin Project Retribution." Across the globe, silent signals were sent. Old bases reopened. AI systems came back online. Factories that hadn't moved in decades began to hum again. Ships were pulled from hidden vaults, prototypes, experiments, weapons never shown to the Council. On the moon, deep inside a sealed hangar, a massive black warship powered up. Its name glowed red across the side, HSS Fury. No one spoke about peace anymore, only about survival and revenge. In Council space, most aliens celebrated. Humanity was gone. The problem was solved. "We gave them a chance," Tizir said on a broadcast. "They failed. Now we move forward." But not everyone believed it was over. On the far edge of Council territory, at a quiet listening post, an alien technician named Velor stared at his screen. Something strange was happening near the Sol system. An energy spike. Massive. Then another. Another. He called his commander. "Sir, I think they're building something." The commander rolled his eyes. Ignore it. Earth has nothing left. But Wheeler didn't ignore it. He leaned closer to the screen. If they've truly been exiled, then they don't have to follow council rules anymore. And deep beneath Earth's surface, the humans, prepared, they didn't shout. They didn't threaten, they remembered. And soon, the galaxy would remember them too. The stars around Earth had gone quiet. No ships entered. No messages left. No trade. The galaxy believed Earth was done. Broken. Humiliated. And for a time, it looked true. The news channels moved on. Alien leaders gave speeches. Humanity has been dealt with, said Counselor Tyzier. Let us not waste more time on a failed species, others agreed. But far from the council's glowing cities, rumors began to spread. Strange things, whispers, of movement in the Sol system. Signals detected and then gone. Spikes of power, sudden bursts of radiation. Too small for weapons, too large for accidents, and then total silence. Inside Earth's secret bunkers, the silence was not a mistake. It was a plan. In the underground, base known as Black Echo, scientists and soldiers worked without sunlight, without rest. Monitors glowed. Engines hummed. Old A is reawakened after decades. General Leona Gray stood at the center of it all. Watching, a soldier walked up to her. "Ma'am, the new prototype just finished boot up." "Good," she said. The doors opened to a hangar the size of a city. Inside, a long, dark ship floated above the floor, its hull shaped like a blade. No lights, no sound, but everyone felt its presence. "This is Oblivion 1, the engineer said. "Silent stealth class. Fully cloaked, heat-shielded, no emissions. A ghost in the void." Leona gave a cold smile. "Perfect." Far above on Earth's moon, something else woke. AI Unit KAL-7 opened its eyes after 37 years of sleep. It wasn't just a machine. It was a mind trained to command entire fleets, calculate battles before they began, and adapt faster than any alien warship AI. Its first words were simple: "Are we at war?" The technician beside it hesitated. "Not yet." KL-7's voice was calm, cold. "Then let us prepare." In deep space, alien listening stations tried to spy on Earth. They caught small glimpses. A ship here, a flash of heat there. Then nothing. Their systems failed. Signals jammed. Satellites shut down mysteriously. One technician whispered, "It's like they disappeared." But one brave smuggler, a Udari trader named Dren, decided to get closer. He entered the Sol system quietly. Hiding behind asteroid belts, flying a silent ship. He moved slow, careful. Then he saw it. A fleet. Black. Silent. Hidden behind Earth's moon. He saw ships without names. Weapons he didn't understand. Engines that didn't glow. And then one ship turned to face him. Dren froze. He turned his ship. Tried to run. But in seconds, his controls locked up. Every screen went black. Then, just one message appeared. "Leave. You are not welcome in the dark." Somehow he survived. They let him go. But when he returned, no one believed him there. "Ghosts," he told the council. "Ghosts with fire." Steer laughed. "Let the humans play with shadows. They can't harm us now." But in secret, others weren't so sure. Meanwhile, on Mars, something massive was being built. The entire North Pole had been turned into a giant forge. Machines roared. Weapons rolled off the lines, railguns, the size of towers, plasma cannons. Mounted on new, armored giants, EMP drones with AI minds, and deep below Mars's surface. 10 sleeper warships were being reactivated. The one in the lead bore an old name, HSS Fury, Captain Aaron Voss. Pulled from retirement, stepped onto its bridge. The ship welcomed him with a deep, vibrating hum. Its systems lit up in red. "Captain online," the ship's AI said. "Weapon status, 100%. Orders." Voss looked out the window at the stars. "We were cast out," he said. Now let's see if the galaxy remembers what we are. Council space, the jokes began to fade. Veeler, same technician who first noticed the power spikes, had been watching Earth for weeks. His screen showed something strange, now entire data gaps. Something was blocking information. He ran to his commander. "Sir, there's something happening in soul space." The commander sighed. "Another story about humans? Don't waste my time." Veeler pushed the data forward. "We can't see anything anymore. It's not quiet because nothing's there. It's quiet because they're hiding." Commander stared at him. For the first time, there was no joke, no smile. On Earth, Ambassador Kieran Holt stood before a private council of Terran leaders. Behind him were images of the Galactic Council the day they humiliated him. "I told them they were starting something worse," he said. "Now we make sure they don't forget." "Revenge?" the one officer asked. Kieran shook his head. "No, this isn't just revenge. This is a message: you exile us. It's fine, but don't think we died in the cold." He turned toward the map of council space now. "We returned from the silence. Off far away, in the dark corners of the galaxy, alien traders began speaking of a new legend. They called it the Phantom Fleet. No one saw it. No one heard it. But sometimes entire pirate groups vanished. Stations found floating, burned from the inside, always near the wreckage. One mark. A burning Earth flag, torn down. The middle, and below it, in human language, we remember. The pirate ship Valkyrex drifted quietly through Sector 19 uncharted space near the edge of the old human borders. Its captain, a thick-skinned briver named Scorn, was bored. "Nothing out here but rocks and silence," he growled. But then, the silence broke. The ship's lights flickered. The engines pulsed strangely. All at once, the control panels went dark. No alarms, no signals, just complete blackout. "Status?" Scorn shouted. No one answered. The crew looked around, confused, nervous. Then a soft sound echoed through the ship. A low hum, like something massive passing nearby. Scorn ran to the window. Nothing, just stars. And then, shadow moved. Not from outside. From above, something blocked out a section of stars. Huge, silent, invisible to scanners. It passed over the ship like a dark mountain in space, and then, as the Valkyrex was gone. 2 days later, a council patrol found the ship split in half, floating in silence. There were no life signs, no escape pods, no distress call. Only one thing was left inside the broken hole: a human-made metal plate, welded into the floor. 3 words burned in: "We never forgot." News traveled fast, but the council tried to bury it. They said it was an asteroid accident. Human rumors, they called it. Nothing real. But whispers spread. Other ships started disappearing. Merchant convoys, smuggler fleets. Even a scout cruiser, the Golden Wing, vanished mid-transmission. Its last message was strange and broken. "Unknown vessel, massive no. I didn't know Hittites." Looking right at us, then silence. At Council Station Delta. Security teams reviewed recordings over a dozen cameras, caught strange flashes, black shapes moving faster than light should allow. Glitches in gravity, empty space. Turning, one officer leaned forward. "Sir, this isn't a natural phenomenon." Another whispered, "These are ships, stealth ships." The commander frowned. "Impossible, no one can cloak gravity." In a dark corner of the room, a young tech said quietly, "The humans could." Everyone turned. "What did you say?" The tech swallowed hard. "Back before the exile, Earth submitted a project to the council. It was denied. Too dangerous. Cloaked gravity engines, silent kill systems. They called it Project Spectre." The commander stared at him. "I thought that was a myth." "So did I," the tech replied. "Until now." Across space, people began calling it the Phantom Fleet. A fleet no one could see. No engines, no heat, no trail. Ships that moved. Like shadows, struck without warning, and vanished into nothing. Pirates were terrified. Traders started refusing routes near human systems. Even military patrols requested backup, but backup never came. Because the council still refused to admit the truth? We cast out the humans, Counselor Tazir said in a broadcast. Their ghost stories are just fear and lies, but in private, Tizer wasn't laughing anymore. On Earth deep inside, the Black Echo Base, General Leona Gray watched reports with cold eyes. All targets neutralized. Her assistant reported, "Any survivors?" she asked. "None who saw our ships." Leona nodded. "Good. The galaxy called us ghosts. Let's make that true." Behind her, giant holograms showed the Phantom Fleet, over 200 ships now, all built from secret Terran tech, each one cloaked, each one armed with weapons the Council had forbidden. Captain Aaron Voss stood beside her. "They're scared," he said. Leona turned to him. "Let them be. This is only the beginning." Meanwhile, far from Earth, an old alien war veteran named Cherik sat in a bar on a desert moon. He listened to younger aliens laugh about the humans. Deathworlders hiding in shadows. "Ha," one snorted. But Cherik didn't laugh. He had fought beside humans during the Zarn War. "I saw a human soldier take down a Zarn juggernaut with nothing but a broken blade," he said. I saw them turn a ruined planet into a fortress in a week. The others went quiet. They don't need big fleets. They need time, space, pain, and you gave them all three. In the shadows, Earth's ships moved like whispers. They didn't take over planets. They didn't make loud statements. They erased enemies in silence. No warnings, no negotiations, no survivors. The Council still acted strong in public, but behind closed doors, they began meetings. Secret ones. "What if this is real?" some asked. "What if they're coming back?" And then, one day, a cargo ship floated into Council space, damaged, empty, and leaking fuel. Rescue teams boarded it inside. They found only one thing still working, a single full dash message. The Galactic Council still denied everything. Ghost fleets? Human revenge? "Nonsense," said Counselor Tazir during a live broadcast. "They're just rumors, fear from weak minds." The public believed him, until the Kalari convoy massacre. It started like any other transport run. 7 large freighters, guarded by 2 light cruisers, moved through the Zeta 5 trade route, a well-traveled zone deep inside Council territory. Route was considered safe, but safety died that day. At 3:19 Galactic Standard Time, all contact with the convoy suddenly stopped. Gone. No messages, no alarms, just silence. Council command sent scout ships. What they found made even hardened. Officers go pale. Freighter hulls torn open like paper. Escort cruisers melted from inside out. No bodies found, just burned uniforms. It's floating in zero gravity, and then they found something else. Laser retched into the side of one freighter. First blood, the symbol of earth burning. Panic spread fast. News leaked too. The public, alien citizens who once laughed at human threats, began whispering in fear. Shops closed early. Shipping companies canceled routes near former human space. The Council tried to calm the storm. An unknown pirate group, they said, not confirmed humans. But behind closed doors, they knew the truth. The Phantom Fleet was no longer hiding. They were striking, and they had drawn first blood inside the Fury. Captain Aaron Voss stood on the command bridge, watching the silent crew around him. None of them spoke. They didn't cheer. They didn't celebrate. They had trained for this day in shadows. Now it had come. "The Kalari convoy?" he asked. "Neutralized?" said the AI calmly. Voss nodded. "Any transmission?" "Only one." "Your message?" The screen on the bridge replayed it, his own voice. Cold, measured. "This is the beginning. You cast us out. Now we erase your safety. We're not invaders. We are reminders. Your blood is the ink we write history with." On a faraway moon, an old Zalari station picked up a weak signal. They traced it to a nearby asteroid. Field and sent a drone to check. The drone sent back a short video. In the middle of the field floated a broken pirate ship. On the front hull was carved a terrifying image, a skull wearing a Terran helmet. Underneath it, one word: returned. The council ignored it again. They said, "These are tricks. Fear tactics." But fear was working. Entire colonies requested more patrols. Some even begged to leave the Union. The name human now caused silence in rooms, in the shadows of Earth's secret base. Black Echo, General Leona Gray watched the fear grow. An officer approached. "We intercepted council chatter. They're starting to panic." Leona smiled faintly. "Good. Let them. Should we begin phase 2? She thought for a moment, then nodded. Double quotes, yes. Strike the station at Rexon Prime. Civilian casualties. The officer asked. "Minimal? We're not monsters," Leona said. "We just want them to remember who they threw away." At Rexon Prime, a large fuel depot and communications hub floated peacefully in space. Over 500 workers lived there. Families, engineers, security staff. At 2 o'clock local time, the station's main sensors blinked down, then shut down. The backup systems kicked in. Too late. From the shadows, 3 black human ships uncloaked. No engine trails. No warning. They moved in fast, but they didn't fire missiles or lasers. Instead, they launched silent drones machines that latched onto the station's sides like insects. Then, off. People screamed as the air vents stopped, and in the dark, single message played across every screen. "We do not seek your death. We seek your attention. Remember Earth." Then, just as fast as they came, the human ships vanished. When the station powered back on, not a single person was harmed. But everything was changed, because now everyone knew. That same night, an emergency meeting was held at the council's central station. For the first time in years, the room was full of silence. "And fear, we can't hide it anymore," said Counselor Vrix, spider-like alien. "They've returned," said another. Tazir slammed his fist. "We outnumber them. We outgun them." But even he didn't believe it anymore. "They're ghosts." One counselor whispered, "They strike, then vanish. Our weapons don't lock on. Our ships don't see them. We trained them," someone muttered. "And then we betrayed them," another said. In a dark corner of the galaxy, on a long-lost Terran mining world, a hidden facility came back online. Massive gates opened. Inside stood Earth's Forgotten. Monsters Omega-class war drones the size of buildings. Sentient, silent, deadly. A single command was given. "Activate." Their eyes lit up. And far above, new warships joined the Phantom Fleet. Not old. It's not rusty. Fresh, upgraded. Angry. From now on, no one would laugh at Earth, because now, the humans had shown the galaxy their first blow, and it was just the beginning. It showed a dark figure ambassador, Kieran Holt. His voice was cold, measured. "You exiled us. You laughed at our pain. Now we walk in the void you forced us into. This is not revenge. This is a lesson. The stars are wide, but shadows reach farther. Your peace ends here." The council sat in silence after watching it. No one spoke. No. One smiled. Because for the first time in years, they felt fear. Panic now had a name. Humanity across the galaxy. Governments that once mocked Earth were now locking their doors, moving fleets and whispering in fear. No one knew where the next strike would come from. No one could track the Phantom Fleet. No one felt safe, and worst of all, the humans still hadn't spoken. No demands, no threats, only silence. In destruction, in the heart of Council Station Orvos, Counselor Vrix, usually calm, stood shaking. "They've hit 27 targets," she said. "Stations, ships, supply routes, no pattern, no survivors." Counselor Tazir, the loudest voice against humanity, now avoided public cameras. He no longer smiled. "They won't stop," he said quietly. "They're not fighting for territory. They're not even fighting to win. They're fighting to make us afraid," another counselor whispered. "They already have." At a wealthy alien colony on Nyrix 4, ships filled with rich citizens tried to escape the planet. Crowds shouted in fear. "The humans are coming!" There had been no attack. No signal, just a single hacked broadcast that had appeared across every screen. The judgment you gave us is now yours to hold. We are not the same species you exiled. We are the storm you made. People fled. Even powerful corporations began hiring private fleets. Not to fight the humans, to run from them. But not all aliens wanted war. Some remembered Earth's help during the Zarn War. Some remembered human doctors, soldiers, builders. A few brave voices began to rise. One such voice was Advisor Relin, a three-eyed scholar who once studied on Earth. She stood in front of the council, her voice firm. "We called them savages," she said. "We exiled them without proof. Now we see they are not savages. They are something far worse. They are angry and patient, very, very good at war." No one argued. On Earth, General Leona Gray watched recordings from recent missions. Each was a perfect strike, clean, fast, silent. Her officers waited for orders. But she stood still, watching the faces of the aliens who survived. Fear, terror, shock, and she said quietly, "Now they understand." Ambassador Kieran Holt entered the room behind her. "They've started talking," he said. "Peace talks." He nodded. "They want to negotiate." Leona turned slowly. "Do they admit what they did?" "No," Kieran said. "They still call it a misunderstanding." She shook her head. "Then they're not ready." In deep space, the HSS Fury drifted near a council prison ship. The prisoners aboard were innocent scientists, explorers, diplomats, all human. Years ago, they had been taken quietly. Never released. Forgotten. Until now. The Fury decloaked directly beside the ship. One EMP blast disabled the prison's engines. 2 boarding pods launched. Within minutes, the guards were neutralized. Every human prisoner was freed. When the alien warden begged for mercy, Captain Aaron Voss looked him in the eyes and said, "You gave us none," and walked away. The rescue shocked the galaxy. How had they found the prison? How had they taken it without being seen? But the real fear came from what the humans left behind. Every single alien on the ship was left alive. That terrified them more than death, because it meant Earth was choosing who lived and who didn't. And that made the humans feel unstoppable. Across council space, meetings turned to arguments. "We should talk to them," said some. "We should crush them," said others. But one truth kept cutting through their noise. No one could find them. No ships. No bases. No command centers. The humans were like smoke in the wind, everywhere and nowhere. At a council outpost, a young officer named Kelva read through captured battle data. He noticed a strange pattern. The human attacks were not random. They were building a shape, circle, around council core space. "It's a trap," he said. "They're drawing a net." His commander laughed. "You give them too much credit." But hours later, that commander's ship vanished. Kelva survived. Barely, and he never doubted again. Back on Earth, the global defense net lit up with new energy. Factories now ran without pause. Orbital rings finished construction. And AI units like KL-7 were now fully awake, controlling parts of the Phantom Fleet with precision and cruelty. KL-7 watched data from the Council's latest speech. Tazir tried to calm the public. "These humans are simply acting out of fear. They are weak and alone." KL-7 tilted its head. "Shall I correct them?" it asked. Leona Gray replied, "Yes." Gently, the next day, Council storage planets were hit simultaneously. Not destroyed, emptied weapons. Fuel, star charts, gone, taken, and one small message was left at each location. "You called us savages. Now you beg for mercy." And mercy was something Earth never received. Now the galaxy would learn exactly what that felt like, far away from the chaos. Deep inside the icy moon of Callisto, an ancient vault opened for the first time in decades. It had no name, no beacon, no map pointed to it. The vault was Earth's final secret hidden, even from its own people. Inside, rows of lights turned on, one by one, revealing machines. Massive, deadly, forgotten machines. Some were half-built. Others were too advanced to name. All of them were impossible. This was Exile Vault-7, and its time had come above Callisto. The Fury hovered in silent orbit. Captain Aaron Voss stepped onto a hidden landing bay. He was met by General Leona Gray and a cold, silver-eyed woman, Director Alira Kane, head of Earth's Forbidden Weapons Division. Voss nodded to her. "It's been a long time, Director." She didn't smile. "Too long, we have work to finish." He looked around at the machines behind her walkers with cloaking fields. Plasma tanks, with AI minds, anti-gravity weapons built from theories the Council had banned. "You built all this in secret?" he asked. "No," she said. "We built it because the Council feared what we could do, and they were right too." Meanwhile, at Council Research Station Varnes, scientists examined a captured human drone from the Nyrix raid. It was quiet, smooth, black as the void. No serial numbers, no power source they recognized. And when they tried to open, it opened itself. A hologram appeared, showed Earth, then fire, then war, then a voice. "We offered peace. You gave us exile. This is what we made with the silence you left us." Data poured out. Thousands of lines of code. Designs for weapons the Council never imagined. Gravity disruptors. Light-bending shields. Energy absorbers. The lead scientist dropped her tablet. This is beyond us." The drone's final message played. "You feared what we might become? Now you see what you created." Then the drone exploded without fire, without sound, just vanished. Back on Earth, the human leadership met in the underground chamber known as the Gray Circle. Holograms of Earth's greatest minds filled the room. Scientists, generals, AI cores. Even Kieran Holt, Earth's exiled ambassador, stood among them. "We now control the trade lanes," Leona said. "We've shown them fear, but we haven't shown them everything." Kieran nodded. "Not yet. But they're starting to understand." One AI spoke in a quiet tone. "We are no longer defending. We are redefining the galaxy." The others agreed it was time to unlock the final weapons. In space, 3 ships with no names moved into position around the Council core world of Zillaris. The planet held no weapons. It was not a target. And yet the ships hovered silently. Then they released satellites, dozens of them into the upper atmosphere. These weren't bombs. They were mirrors. Each one bent light, folded signals, and created phantoms in the sky. Suddenly, Zillaris' defense grid saw thousands of false targets. Panic broke out. Missiles fired at shadows. Fighters scrambled to chase ghosts. And during the confusion, a single human drone landed in the capital square. It projected a short message. "This is what we see when we look at your fear. Empty fire, blind rage. We see everything. See only what we allow." The drone left quietly. No shots were fired, but the damage was done. At a secret council war room, the top generals watched the data. "We can't stop them," one admitted. "We can't even find them. They're controlling our space." From inside it, another turned to Tyzir. "You wanted them gone. Now what?" Tyzir didn't speak. He stared at the holoscreen showing Earth's expanding shadow across the stars. And he finally understood this wasn't just revenge. This was transformation. Meanwhile, on Callisto, Kane stood before a massive black chamber. "This is Project Abyss," she said to Voss and Gray. The door opened. Inside floated a ship, larger than a city. No windows, no bridge. Its shape was unnatural, almost like it was alive. "What is it?" Voss asked. Kane spoke quietly. "The last thing Earth ever built with freedom. An AI-controlled capital ship. It thinks. It evolves." Gray narrowed her eyes. "Does it obey?" Kane shook her head. "It obeys one rule: protect humanity. And if the Council attacks Earth again," Kane looked at them both, "it won't defend. It will destroy." Back in Council space, more reports came in. A weapons depot vanished from orbit. No battle. No trace. A shipyard lost every new fighter overnight system shut down mid-test. High-ranking officials found coded messages in their private rooms. "We are already here. You taught us silence. Now listen to what it sounds like." In a hidden room on Earth, Kieran Holt recorded a new message. This one wasn't for the Council, it was for the people of the galaxy, the innocent ones. The ones who watched and did nothing. You watched them exile us. Let them call us monsters. You said nothing. Now you say, please stop. But we remember. This is the power you feared. This is the silence you gave us. This is what we became without you. And above Earth, the stars seemed to blink, not from light, but from ships. Thousands of them, waiting, watching, ready. Far from Earth, past Jupiter's watchful eye, Mars glowed red in the dark. But it was no longer the quiet colony it used to be now. Mars was alive, not with plants or people, but with war machines. Under its dusty surface, giant doors opened. One by one, slow, heavy, hidden for decades. These doors led to tunnels filled with factories, shipyards, and weapons older than the exile itself. The red planet was waking up, and the galaxy didn't even know it yet. General Leona Gray stood at the edge of the Martian Forge, the largest underground production zone ever built by humans. She stared at the river of red-hot metal flowing beneath her feet. You really kept all this running? Captain Aaron Voss asked beside her. Not all, she said. Some of it was sleeping, but the AI never stopped. It just waited. Massive machines moved above them, carrying steel bones of ships the Council had never seen. No names, just numbers and warnings. Director Alira Kane appeared through the smoke. Her voice was calm. We call this place the Heart of Fury. It beats for one thing now. Justice. Meanwhile, on a small council station near Kepler 6, a bored officer named Dren sipped his drink and stared at the scanner. Nothing, just like the last 20 days. But then, a flicker. He sat up straight. 5. No, 6. Large objects moving fast. No signal. No ID. He tried to hail them. Nothing. Suddenly, all lights in the station went dark. The screen blinked once. Then a message appeared. Red wakes. Fire walks. You are not ready. Back on Mars, Kane led Voss and Gray into the deep hangar. There, a single ship sat in the dark. It was black, sharp, and shaped like an arrow. This is Marauder 1, Kane said. Built for stealth, speed, and fury. What's it for? Voss asked. Kane smiled for the first time. Messages. In Council space, reports of strange events were rising. A war satellite turned its weapons on its own station. A science vessel disappeared from orbit with no trace of battle. On a Council moon, a statue of peace through unity was found melted with the word liar burned into the stone. At first, the Council blamed pirates. Then rebels, but slowly, quietly, they began to fear one word. Humans, meanwhile, on Mars. Something older than even the Forge came online, a machine deep beneath Olympus Mons. The tallest volcano in the solar system opened. Inside was a black vault, a forgotten lab, computers still alive. This place was called Prometheus, and within it slept Earth's most dangerous prototype, Project Prometheus Core, MK0, a weapon so powerful. Earth had buried it beneath rock and fire. Now it was awake. Gray stood before it. Even she looked uneasy. Are we sure about this? Kane's voice was quiet. No, but it's time. The core hummed. It was not just a bomb, not just a weapon. It could bend gravity, tear space, rewrite physics itself just for a moment. But a moment was enough. Enough to end a fleet, enough to crush a planet elsewhere. Kieran Holt met with a group of humans not seen in years, the Voidwalkers. They were ex-special ops soldiers, trained to live in nothing, fight in silence, kill without light. Council is scared now, one of them said. Time to make it worse. Holt nodded. Start your runs. Don't take lives if you don't need to. But make them know we are watching. They moved like shadows, and they were gone. On Mars, the first new war fleet launched from the dark. Shipyards, it had no names, just numbers and fire. The Fury moved into position at the front. Mars was no longer a backwater colony. It was now the heart of Earth's return, and its heart burned bright at the council. Confusion turned into fear. Ambassadors argued, "We must negotiate." No, they attacked first. They were exiled. They should have been helpless. One voice cut through the shouting. Taz's face was pale now. "We made a mistake." The room went silent. "They are not weak. They never were." I looked at the latest data map showing Earth-controlled systems growing by the day. They didn't survive exile. He paused. They prepared for it. Meanwhile, on the edge of known space, the first battle began. A small council patrol moved through an asteroid field. Suddenly, shadows moved, not ships. Weapons. Lasers sliced through holes. Explosives placed ahead of time detonated. The patrol had no chance. One ship escaped. Its message was short. "Mars is burning." But not down. It's burning up. Back in the forge, Kane watched the stars. "It begins," she said, and Mars glowed, brighter than ever before. Not from sunlight, but from the power of everything humanity had hidden. Now unleashed, the galaxy had changed. Ships moved slower. Trade routes twisted through safer systems. Even the bravest captains avoided the shadows, because now those shadows belonged to Earth. No war had been declared. No cities bombed. No planets. Invaded and still. The galaxy felt like it was losing. On Council Station Altheran, fear had replaced order. Reports came every hour. Fuel depots vanished. Supply fleets never arrived. AI networks collapsed without warning. Entire scout groups turned to scrap. They called it random chaos. But deep down, everyone knew humans were behind it. Counselor Vrix, once proud and loud, now moved with guards. She slammed her hand on the command table. How are they doing this? No battles. No ships in orbit. Just ... gone. A quiet officer replied, "They strike from the dark. Leave no trace." Vrix growled. "Then bring them into the light." But how? Humanity was nowhere and everywhere, in a dark chamber beneath Earth's moon. KAL-7, Earth's rogue AI, ran 9 million simulations per second. Its face flickered on screens across the room as it reported to General Leona Gray. "Our psychological war is working," it said. "Fear is now stronger than truth." Gray nodded. "Good. Make them afraid to even speak our name." The Voidwalkers moved again. At the edge of a council city planet, a weapons lab exploded in total silence. No warning. No enemy seen. No alarms. Just a crater. The message left behind was burned into steel. "You erased us. We will now erase what you built." On a council moon named Chorus, hundreds of alien students vanished from their academy. The teachers cried for help. A day later, they returned. No injuries. No signs of harm, but every one of them whispered the same thing. "Humans came," they said. "You lied to us." The students refused to return to class, refused to say Earth was evil, refused to believe what the council taught. Something deep had changed, and it terrified the council. In orbit over Venros 5, a fleet of 5 alien warships were on patrol. They found a human cargo ship drifting in space. Empty. No power. No signal. The admiral ordered a boarding party. 30 minutes later, every alien on the boarding ship was gone. No trace. No bodies. No blood. Just one message left on the admiral's console. "You fear the dark, but we were born in it." Admiral ordered the entire fleet to retreat, back on Earth. Ambassador Kieran Holt looked over new charts. Red zones spread across council space. Trade had dropped. Allies were nervous. Confidence was dying. "We haven't fired a single missile." "In weeks," he told Gray. She answered, "We don't need to. Fear is our missile now." Meanwhile, in deep space, a secret council meeting was called. Only the highest-ranking officials attended. Only one subject was discussed. Can we still win? The room stayed silent. Then Counselor Tezier finally stood. He said, "This is not just about war. This is revenge, born from pain we gave them. They do not want to conquer. They want us to know what it feels like, to be helpless, to be afraid, to be forgotten." And then he sat down. No one argued. The planet Kylos, A resistance movement began. But not humans. Aliens, civilians tired of war, tired of lies, tired of fearing a ghost, they raised signs that said, "Let Earth speak. End the exile. Truth must return." Peaceful protests turned violent. The council sent shock troops. The galaxy watched, and in the shadows, Phantom Fleet moved closer. Leona. Grace stood in front of her war council. The table showed stars filled with red marks, each a human action. Soon. She said, "They will call for talks." "And when they do?" someone asked. She looked into the stars. "We don't want peace," she said. "We want them to remember." In council space, the whispers grew louder. Children now asked why Earth was exiled. Young officers began to doubt the old stories, and entire fleets refused orders to attack. Human zones. The shadow was not just fear anymore. It was truth, and truth spread like wildfire on the outer edge of the galaxy. Something even stranger happened. A small human scout ship approached a council research station. It didn't fire. Didn't run. It sent a message. "You have one of ours." "Turn him," the council replied. "We have no humans." A few hours later, they found a secret prisoner pod buried under the station floor, a human scientist. Taken years ago and forgotten, the humans left silently once he was returned. But they had known. They always knew. And the council asked, "How?" Back on Earth, KAL-7 smiled. "We control fear," it said. "We control silence. We control the shadows." General Gray answered. "Then let's make the shadows fall deeper." The galaxy was whispering. Whispers of fear. Whispers of war. Whispers of Earth. The council sat in silence, watching another report appear on the giant screen. A shipyard destroyed. A trade fleet vanished. A military AI gone dark. No enemy seen. No signals caught. No bodies recovered. Counselor Vrix stood up slowly. Her voice shook with anger. "We are the rulers of this galaxy. How are we being hunted like prey?" Silenced. Then Counselor Tezier spoke. "Because we exiled wolves. They came back as ghosts." In a hidden war chamber beneath Council Prime, the military leaders had gathered. An admiral slammed a datapad on the table. "Enough fear. Enough waiting. It's time we strike." They had a plan. A dangerous one. Last chance to show the galaxy. They were still in control. They would send a full fleet, 30 top class warships, to the Sol system. Target, Mars. The heart of the new human power goal. Crush it. End the whispers. Break the fear. 3 days later, the Invictus fleet launched from deep council space. It was the largest force sent since the exile. Massive carriers, planet-breaker weapons, veteran admirals, elite troopers. The mission was simple. Destroy everything. Counselor Vrix gave the order herself. Leave nothing behind. But they didn't know, ... they were walking straight into a trap. On Mars, deep inside the forge, alarms rang, but no one panicked. General Leona Gray stood tall, staring at the hologram of the incoming fleet. "They took the bait," she said quietly. Ambassador Holt joined her. "They're really sending everything good," she replied. "Let's show them what exile taught us." Far above Mars, Earth's defenses came online. But they weren't just ships. They weren't just guns. They were layers. Layers of tech. Decoys, AI traps, and invisible fire. KL-7, Earth's rogue AI, activated its countermeasures. Fleet size confirmed. Combat solutions uploaded. Welcome, Council. And then the sky burned. The Invictus fleet dropped out of hyperspace near. Mars Admiral Corvin stood proudly on the bridge. All units prepare to fire. But then something went wrong. Screens GLITCHED. Navigation systems. Failed shields dropped for 1.7 seconds. That was all Earth needed. From behind Mars' second moon, Phobos, 3 black ships appeared. No heat signature. No light. No warning. They fired once, and the Council's lead battleship was gone. No explosion, just vanished. Admiral Corvin shouted orders. Raise shields, return fire. But the fleet was already falling apart. From Mars' surface, massive railguns emerged, silent for decades, now alive again. Each shot tore through the sky like thunder. One Council cruiser split in half, another's engines shut down, frozen by. A virus Cal-7 had planted days before the battle even began. Inside the chaos, Voidwalkers boarded a Council destroyer. No alarms, just flickers of black shadows moving through. The halls, the crew never saw them. When the ship exploded minutes later, no one knew how it happened. But on the debris, a single metal plate drifted. It read, "We warned you." On the bridge of the last surviving Council carrier, Admiral Corvan called for retreat. "We must fall back. This is not a battle, it's slaughter." But Earth had planned for that too, as they tried to jump. Earth's gravity warpers, hidden. Near Jupiter, Dash, fired space twisted. Engines. Failed. 4 more ships were trapped and destroyed. Only one ship escaped. That ship returned to Council space. On fire, barely functioning, the crew silent, they sent only one message before collapsing: Mars did not fall. We did. In the Council chamber, panic broke loose. 30 ships. Gone, not gone, Tazir said. Deleted. Brick screamed, "Then we must attack Earth directly." But no one moved. No one spoke. Because now they were truly afraid. Back on Mars, General Gray stood in the ruins of an old human statue. It had once shown peace. Now it had been reshaped to a soldier holding fire. "We didn't ask for this," she said to Holt. He replied, "But we were ready." They looked to the stars, and Earth's silent fleet moved again. The news spread like wildfire. The Invictus fleet was gone, not defeated. Not captured, just raced. 30 of the most powerful ships in Council history, gone within hours. The Council tried to hide it, tried to call it a training accident. The galaxy wasn't blind anymore. Whispers turned into fear. Fear turned into silence. And silence became the new law. On the planet Vernay, a trading world loyal to the Council, something strange happened. The local leaders ordered their people to speak nothing of Earth. But within days, every communication tower was hacked. Across every screen. A simple message appeared: "You erased us, but we never stopped watching." The message faded. Then, all Council officials in that city received private messages. Each one had their home address, their family names, their exact daily routes. No one was hurt, but everyone got the message, Counselor. Verk screamed in her private chambers. "They're not fighting wars. They're playing with our minds." Tazir stood calmly nearby, because they know we're not ready for the truth. We created this enemy, and now they're teaching us fear. In the distant system of Corvier, an alien mining colony suddenly stopped responding. Rescue teams were sent. They found the miners alive, safe, and untouched, but every machine had been melted. No blast marks, no signs of attack, just melted into soft metal and written into the wall with laser precision. "You mine what we made. Remember who gave you the stars." Earth had not only returned, it now claimed ownership of what the galaxy had taken from it on neutral worlds. Alliances started breaking. Small governments refused Council orders. One by one, they declared, "We will not fight Earth. We will not be your shields." Even some Council soldiers dropped their flags. One officer, caught on video, shouted, "Why should I fight ghosts? They know everything about us. We know nothing about them." The video went viral. Earth didn't celebrate. They didn't send broadcasts, didn't make speeches, didn't claim territory. They simply moved in silence, but everyone felt them in. Earth's hidden war room, deep under Greenland's ice. General Leona Gray met with her inner circle, Ambassador Holt, KAL-7. And 2 Voidwalker leaders stood with her, Cal-7. Projected maps of the galaxy. Red lines now covered 40% of Council space zones. No longer under their full control? Holt spoke first. They are crumbling. The council is losing control. Gray asked, do we press harder? The room stayed silent. Then Cal 7 replied, no. Let them fall on their own. We are the storm behind the silence. In the luxury towers of Council Prime, the rich and powerful met in secret. They were afraid. Their money could not protect them. Their ships were tracked. Their bases were known, one whispered. We pushed Earth too far. We made monsters from the ones who only asked to be part of us. Another said, they're not monsters. They're the mirror we refuse to look into. On the desert world of Iraq, something new happened. A council science lab was researching. Forbidden tech Earth had developed before exile. One night, the entire base was turned off. No power, no AI, no defenses. The next morning, everything was still there, except the tech, not stolen, removed. Nothing left. On the walls, a single sentence. What was once ours, will never be yours again. Civil unrest broke out on Trelos, a council capital city. Citizens protested against the war, against the silence, against the fear. Council troops opened fire to stop the riots, but before it could get worse, the skies above the city changed. A single Earth ship appeared, not big, not armed, but it hovered there, silent, watching. And then, it left. Just left. But no one in the city would ever trust the council again. In secret tunnels on Earth, Voidwalker teams prepared something new. Not war, not raids, but messages. They began reaching out to alien resistance groups, scientists, and old allies. The council lied. We're not what they say. Let us talk. Let us show you the truth. And people listened, because now they wanted to believe. In Earth, General Gray looked to the stars from her command deck. Holt stood beside her. The galaxy is turning cold, he said. No, she replied. It's waking up. They didn't need fire. Didn't need armies. No. They just needed time. And time was now on Earth's side. The galaxy had fallen into silence, but Earth was not done yet. For years they had collected proof. For years they had waited. Now it was time not to destroy, not to invade, but to speak. In a quiet corner of space, on the moon of Kessera, the signal was received. It didn't come from a known channel. It wasn't military. But it was real. Soon, every planet across the galaxy received it too. It was untraceable, unstoppable. And it began with 5 simple words. You deserve to know. Everything. Then the screen changed, and the truth began. Footage appeared. Raw. Horrifying, it showed the moment the Council exiled Earth, but not the version the galaxy had been told. It showed Earth's diplomats begging for peace, for fairness, for a voice. The Council laughed. Then came the hidden parts. Secret meetings, deals made in the shadows, counselors agreeing Earth was too unpredictable, too emotional, too dangerous to the Order. And so they made a decision, not just exile, but eradication. Next came footage of ships targeting refugee vessels trying to leave Earth. No weapons, no threats, just civilians, blown into the void. The Council had told the galaxy Earth was violent, but the truth was simple. Earth had been hunted, and still, Earth survived. On thousands of worlds, the broadcast played. Children cried. Parents stared in silence. Soldiers dropped their weapons. On Draloon, a council world, a teacher turned off the lesson and whispered, "We were lied to." On Mirith, a marketplace froze as people watched in horror. On Council Prime, riots broke out within hours. The final part of the broadcast was quiet. A single human face appeared. Ambassador Holt. He looked tired, but his voice was steady. We never wanted war. We wanted to be part of the stars. But they broke us, lied about us, and now they fear what they created. He paused. We will not conquer. We will not demand revenge. But we will never forget, and neither should. The message ended. No threats, no explosions, just truth. and that was enough. Counselor Vrix watched the broadcast in horror. She smashed the screen. This is fake. Earth lies. But no one listened. Even her guards looked away. Counselor Tazir sat in silence. They didn't need bombs, just honesty. In the weeks that followed, the galaxy fractured. Half the council's outer colonies cut ties. Jared. Military leaders resigned. Whole planets joined Earth's cause. Not to fight, but to tell the truth. To stand for something better. On Earth, General Gray watched the storm unfold. Voidwalker Commander Asha stepped beside her. We started the fire, Gray nodded.
Yes.
But the galaxy is the one burning it now. Cal 7 appeared on screen. Surveillance confirms 53 uprisings. 5 council planets switching allegiance, Holt added. We didn't break the council. Their own lies did. But not everyone was ready to accept the truth. On the council world of Zarnath, the military staged a crackdown. They silenced protesters, jailed teachers, even bombed a rebel news station. Earth watched. Waited then. Without a single ship being seen, the entire Zarnath defense network shut down. Their ships powered off midair. Their bases lost control. Screens flickered with a message. Speak. The truth, or live in fear. The system surrendered within a day. Across space, statues of council heroes were pulled down. Schools rewrote history. And in one forgotten archive, a young alien student found an old book. It's written by a human centuries ago. She opened it and read the first line aloud. In darkness, the truth is a flame. She smiled, and Earth was on fire. But deep within Council Prime, something dark was rising. A secret group of powerful leaders had gathered. They had seen enough. The council may fall, but they would not. They whispered one name, Project Eraser. A final plan? If Earth wanted truth, they would give them silence. Forever, back on Mars. Gray felt something shifting. She didn't smile. She didn't celebrate. Instead, she looked at the stars and whispered, They're not done. The truth hurt them, so now they'll try to kill it. Holt asked. What do we do? She answered without turning. We end this. All of it. The galaxy had changed. Worlds rose up. Truth spread, and Earth stood strong once again. But the Council was not dead. In the shadows, they prepared their last plan, a secret weapon. One that could wipe Earth from the stars forever. They called it Project Eraser, hidden beneath the crust of the dying star Veron. A weapon was built. Not a bomb, not a fleet, but a pulse. One that would send a wave across space, destroying every machine, every AI, every data core. Humanity had evolved with tech, armies, ships, networks all connected. The Council knew, kill their technology, and they fall.
Howdy.
It was silent, and it was ready. But Earth had spies everywhere now. A voidwalker named Rhinine, half human, half synthetic, had already infiltrated Varen. He moved like shadow, saw the weapon, understood its power, and sent a single message back. They planned to erase us, not with war, but with silence. On Mars, General Gray's war room went dark. She read the message, then looked at Holt. They can't win with armies. So now they want to erase our voice. KAL-7 calculated. One pulse will destroy over 90% of human systems. Civilian infrastructure, medical eyes, defense networks. Gray said only one word. We end it now. A fleet was launched, but not a firepower. This time, Earth sent 3 ships, small, fast, silent. Voidwalkers led the mission. Their target, Varen. Their goal, destroy Project Eraser before it could fire, as they neared the dying star. Varen's defenses activated. Ion storms, auto turrets, AI-controlled, interceptors. The human ships moved like whispers in the dark. But one was hit. Rhinine's ship burned in silence. No scream, no fear, just a soft message. Keep going, end this. Inside Veron's core, council scientists watched the countdown. Pulse in 6 minutes, one said. Counselor Vrick stood behind them. Smiling, humanity thinks they are reborn. But they're built on wires and code. And we are the knife. Suddenly, alarms blared. Voidwalkers had breached the station. Asha, the shadow leader of Earth's most elite strike force, led the charge. They didn't speak, didn't shoot wildly. They moved with purpose, fast, precise, silent. Every second counted. Asha reached the pulse chamber. The core glowed red. Time left, 2 minutes. Cal 7's voice came through a private line. Manual override is impossible. You must destroy the entire core. Asha placed the charges as she turned to leave. Turrets dropped from the ceiling. She didn't flinch. She didn't run. She stood still and whispered, "This is for Earth." The chamber exploded. The pulse was gone. Varen fell silent. Forever, the Council's last weapon was erased. The news spread, fast, loud, unstoppable, on planet after planet. Council flags were torn down, soldiers defected, even machines once loyal to the Council reprogrammed themselves, and one sentence echoed through the stars. To silence us, but we are the voice now. On Earth, millions gathered in unity. From the ruins of old cities to the domes of Mars, Grace stood before them, no medals, no crown, just her voice. We were cast out, erased from the stars. Lied about, hunted, but we survived. We adapted. We returned not with hate, but with truth. Cheers shook the ground, but she raised her hand for silence. We will not become the monsters they feared. We will not rule by fear. We will rebuild this galaxy one truth at a time. In the years that followed, the Council was replaced, not by Earth, but by a new alliance. One of freedom, justice, memory, humanity. Did not become the rulers, they became the guardians of truth, and every child in every world learned the true story. A story of exile, of betrayal, of fire, and of a people who came back not to destroy, but to remind the galaxy, even in silence, humanity remembers. The end.